The crumbling barracks reek of decay, the air thick with dust and the ghosts of forgotten battles. Ruby, her face etched with weariness, but her eyes alight with defiance, jolts awake from a nightmare. Her hand instinctively reaches for a weapon that isn't there, a phantom weight in her grasp. Around her, shadowy figures on makeshift beds stir restlessly, their sleep disturbed by unseen fears. A distant, chilling howl echoes through the desolate ruins, a predator's cry in the dead of night. Ruby's gaze hardens, a silent promise of survival in the face of encroaching terror. The first tendrils of dawn pierce the dense canopy, painting the forest edge in a ghostly palette of gray and silver. Kyle, a burly sentinel, stands guard, his scarred face a grim testament to a lifetime of brutal battles. His eyes, sharp and vigilant, sweep the tree line, searching for any flicker of movement in the spectral morning mist. Natish, an ethereal young woman, sits cross-legged on the damp earth, her fingers tracing intricate symbols into the dirt. The thick mist clings to ancient trees, obscuring the ominous depths of the forest as they prepare for arduous travel. In a makeshift camp, the Heartchild family huddles close, their faces etched with the harsh realities of survival. Ilara, stern and watchful, meticulously cleans a hunting knife, her movements precise and wary. The glint of the blade reflects her grim determination, a silent promise of protection. Leo, quiet and observant, watches his mother, a silent understanding passing between them. Lyra, her young face etched with anxiety, clutches a small carved wooden bird, her knuckles white with fear. The tiny bird, a fragile symbol of hope, is a stark contrast to the raw tension of their existence. Ruby leads the group deeper into the forest, a labyrinth of ancient trees and shifting shadows. Sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy, creating an eerie, dappled gloom. Every snap of a twig and rustle of leaves amplifies the palpable tension, making them jump. Kyle's hand instinctively rests on the hilt of his axe, ready for any unseen threat. Ruby finds herself trapped in a nightmarish battleground, engulfed by the deafening roar of explosions. The air thickens with the agonizing screams of the wounded, their cries a chilling symphony of despair. The metallic clang of clashing weapons echoes ominously, a relentless rhythm of violence. A shadowy, menacing monster with glowing red eyes looms over Ruby, its form indistinct, yet terrifying. Paralyzed by an overwhelming fear, Ruby struggles against the invisible chains that bind her limbs, unable to move. A distorted, blaring alarm clock rings in the distance, its piercing sound cutting through the chaos, a harbinger of doom. The group enters the abandoned village, their cautious footsteps crunching on the debris, the silence heavy with decay. Vines relentlessly reclaim the crumbling buildings, their roofs caved in, revealing glimpses of the vast sky above. A faded wooden horse, a child's forgotten toy, lies half buried in the dirt, a poignant testament to a life long gone. Leo kneels, his gaze fixed on a discarded book, its pages swollen and distorted by the relentless grip of water damage. He gently picks up the waterlogged book, a silent artifact of a past abruptly halted. The group surveys the ruins, a chilling sense of desolation hanging in the air, a stark reminder of what once was. Inside a dilapidated village house, a small fire crackles, casting dancing shadows on the worn walls. Ruby, her face illuminated by the flickering light, recounts fragments of a past battle, her voice low and strained. Kyle listens intently, his brow furrowed, his expression grim as he absorbs every word. The firelight paints their faces with somber hues, reflecting the weight of their shared, unspoken past. A wide, fast-flowing river churns relentlessly, its powerful current dominating the wild landscape. Natish surveys the turbulent waters, a thoughtful frown etched deeply onto her face as she ponders its mysteries. Lyra gestures towards the riverbank where strange luminous plants pulse with an ethereal soft glow. Elara carefully probes the river's depth with a long stick, her movements precise and deliberate. In Ruby's dream, fragmented images flicker, a trusted face appearing, once kind, now twisted with malice. A hand, instead of solace, extends with chilling intent, preparing to shove her into an abyss. She is thrust into a swirling abyss, the darkness consuming her in a terrifying descent. The insistent ringing of an alarm clock grows louder, a piercing, frantic sound threatening to shatter the dream. The shrill alarm tears through the dream's fabric, pulling Ruby back to a harsh reality. A chilling wind whispers through the ancient, crumbling bridge of whispers, carrying faint, disembodied voices. Lyra, her eyes wide with fear, clutches Ilara's hand, her knuckles white against the desolate stone. They walk across the precarious bridge, each step an act of courage, against the ominous whispers carried by the wind. The bridge stretches into the distance, a haunting pathway over a chasm of unseen depths. Inside the tent, Ilara and Leo's hushed argument casts dancing shadows, their voices barely above a whisper, thick with tension. Lyra, a small figure huddled in her sleeping roll, trembles, her anxiety growing with every overheard word. Ilara gestures emphatically, her hand brushing against a worn, ancient map, insisting on a perilous route. The map, a silent witness to their desperate debate, hints at the dangerous journey ahead. The group navigates a treacherous mountain pass, the wind howling around them. Loose scree crumbles underfoot, each step a perilous dance with gravity. Kyle, surprisingly agile, scouts ahead, his movements quick and sure. Ruby, her brow furrowed in concentration, studies a faded map. Her gloved finger traces their progress, a silent testament to their determination. The stark mountain landscape looms, a silent challenge to their resolve. Ruby's dreamscape is a terrifying void of shadow, where a monstrous figure looms over her, its features indistinct yet menacing. She thrashes against unseen restraints, a silent scream caught in her throat as the monster whispers, "You cannot escape what you are." The monster's menacing presence intensifies, its shadowy form pressing closer as Ruby struggles in terror. Suddenly, the blaring shriek of an alarm clock pierces the dream, a jarring sound that shatters the nightmare's hold. Sunlight filters through the overgrown canopy, illuminating sprawling ancient ruins covered in intricate carvings. Nadish, mesmerized, traces the pulsing, alien symbols with her fingers, a look of wonder on her face. Kyle steps forward, his eyes scanning their surroundings with a palpable sense of unease. He warns Natish, his voice urgent, "Don't touch anything. I have a bad feeling about this." Sunlight pierces the ancient chamber, illuminating dancing dust motes and a faintly glowing stone pedestal. Lyra, in a trance, drifts towards the mysterious light, her eyes wide with an unknown allure. Ilara's hand shoots out, a sharp, decisive movement, pulling Lyra back from the ethereal glow. Ruby gazes at the pedestal, an inexplicable pull and a strange sense of familiarity washing over her. Beyond crumbling ruins, a vibrant sunken garden flourishes, a hidden world bathed in ethereal light. Bioluminescent flora pulses with soft light, illuminating the verdant foliage in an otherworldly glow. The air thrums with an almost palpable magical energy, a silent symphony of ancient power. Natish moves with purpose, her silhouette graceful amidst the glowing plants. She carefully collects samples, her movements precise and deliberate. Her eyes, wide with curiosity, reflect the otherworldly glow, mirroring the garden's mystical beauty. Ruby stands before a mirror, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and confusion, her heart pounding. Instead of her own face, the reflection shows a monstrous, shifting form that writhes silently. The grotesque reflection contorts, a silent mockery of her own image, twisting her reality. The distant thrum of an alarm clock is a muffled, fading heartbeat, barely registering in her terror. Her eyes are transfixed by the horror, trapped in a nightmare where her own image betrays her. The sun fights a losing battle, its light fractured by a dense canopy of gnarled, twisted trees. Skeletal branches claw at the murky air, a silent, menacing welcome to the twisted woods. The once clear path has shrunk to a narrow trail, forcing the group into a cautious single file. An oppressive silence suffocates the air, broken only by the rhythmic scuff of their footsteps. Each step echoes on the leaf-strewn ground, a stark reminder of their journey into the unknown. Inside the damp, cold cave, a small fire flickers, casting dancing shadows and offering a fragile warmth against the chill. Ruby, with a gesture of care, tears a piece of dried meat and hands it to Lyra, who eagerly accepts the sustenance. Kyle's face, illuminated by the fire's golden glow, intently sharpens his axe, each stroke a testament to his vigilance. In a secluded corner, Natish sits cross-legged, eyes closed, lost in the quiet depths of meditation amidst the cave's embrace. The cave hums with a silent tension, a stark tableau of survival and inner peace under the flickering light. Under the scorching sun, a vast, shimmering barrier pulsates with an ethereal glow, marking the edge of a magical kingdom. The air crackles with an unknown power, a palpable energy that hints at the magic beyond the shimmering boundary. Elara, her brow furrowed in concentration, meticulously consults an ancient map, its weathered surface hinting at untold journeys. Her gaze shifts from the map to the barrier, a mix of awe and determination etched on her face as she prepares to cross. Ruby's legs pump frantically, a desperate, futile effort against the dream's terrifying grip. A shadowy, formless monster gains on her with terrifying ease, its presence a chilling dread. Flashes of her comrade's fear, contorted faces appear, then vanish into an unseen abyss, one by one. The insistent, irregular pulse of an alarm clock brutally shatters the dream's oppressive silence. Before them, a grand, ornate gate of dark wood and shimmering brass looms, its surface writhing with intricate carvings of mythical beasts. On either side, two imposing figures in gleaming dark armor stand perfectly still, their visored helmets obscuring all expression. Ruby approaches the formidable gate, her steps hesitant, her hands slightly raised in a gesture of peace. The silent guards remain motionless, their spears held rigidly at attention, unyielding to her attempts at communication. Ruby's gaze sweeps over the unyielding gate and the stoic guards, a silent plea hanging in the air. Sunlight streams through tall, arched windows, illuminating dust motes, dancing in the air as Ruby, Kyle, and Natish are ushered in. At the far end, a regal queen sits upon an ornate throne, her posture impeccable. Her sharp, scrutinizing eyes fix on the approaching trio, the air thick with anticipation. The queen's commanding voice echoes, "State your purpose. What brings you before me?" Natish steps into the royal library, her eyes wide with unbridled wonder, taking in the vastness before her. Towering shelves, laden with ancient scrolls, stretch impossibly high to the arched ceiling, a silent testament to forgotten knowledge. Soft, ethereal light from glowing orbs illuminates every corner, casting an otherworldly glow on the countless texts. Natish moves with a determined purpose, her fingers tracing the spines of texts, a silent quest for answers. She seeks the secrets of her world's magic and history, her hunger for knowledge palpable in the hallowed halls. Lyra and Leo stroll through the kingdom's vibrant gardens, a kaleidoscope of fantastical creatures and plants surrounding them. Lyra's eyes, wide with wonder, drink in the exotic beauty, a soft smile gracing her lips. In stark contrast, Leo remains vigilant, his hand hovering near the hilt of his small dagger. His gaze, sharp and restless, constantly sweeps their surroundings, ever watchful for unseen dangers. The idyllic beauty of the gardens is underscored by Leo's silent, unyielding preparedness. Ruby is trapped, frozen in a room where the air crackles with an unseen dread. 26 identical alarm clocks, like metallic eyes, suddenly erupt into a cacophony of blaring rings. The unbearable sound pierces Ruby's mind, her face contorted in silent agony. She clamps her hands over her ears, a desperate attempt to silence the invading noise, screaming without a sound. Beneath the door, a monstrous shadow begins to grow, long and distorted, stretching towards her. The shadow looms, a silent, terrifying presence, amplifying Ruby's torment in the deafening room. In the queen's dimly lit chambers, flickering candlelight casts dancing shadows across tapestries, cloaking the queen's face in mystery. Ruby stands stiffly before the queen, her eyes narrowed with suspicion, as an unspoken tension fills the air. The queen's voice, slow and deliberate, cuts through the silence. "Ruby, I have a proposition for you, one that could change everything." Ruby's gaze pierces the shadows, her voice firm as she questions, "What kind of proposition, Your Majesty?" Sunlight bathes the training grounds as Kyle and a guard engage in a powerful, precise sparring match. Their movements are a fluid, graceful dance, each strike and parry a testament to their skill. Kyle's eyes, sharp and intensely focused, track every minute detail of the guard's technique. He absorbs and analyzes their fighting style, his mind a whirlwind of strategy and anticipation. In the dim study, Natish's brow is furrowed in concentration, illuminated by the flickering candlelight. Dancing shadows play across her face, highlighting the deep concern etched into her features. She meticulously deciphers an ancient prophecy, its secrets slowly revealing themselves. A profound connection emerges between Ruby's past trauma and the world's precarious state. Natish's eyes widen, grasping the gravity of the revelation, her gaze fixed on the ancient text. Under the bright sun, Ilara stands rigidly, her face a mask of anger and suspicion as she confronts Ruby. Ruby, defensive, meets Ilara's piercing gaze, while Leo watches, his brow furrowed with internal conflict. Ilara's voice, sharp with mistrust, declares, "I don't trust the Queen's offer, Ruby. Not one bit." Ruby counters, "Why? It could be an opportunity for us." But Ilara's retort, or a trap, hangs heavy in the air. Ruby stands on a precarious precipice, the earth beneath her feet crumbling into an infinite abyss. Her shadow, a monstrous, distorted entity, mirrors her every move, an inseparable part of her being. The unseen alarm clocks loom, their silence deafening, a chilling presence in the periphery of her awareness. The ground beneath Ruby's feet continues to fragment, threatening to plunge her into the dark unknown. Her face reflects a profound terror as the monstrous shadow looms larger, a terrifying extension of her own dread. High atop the kingdom walls, Ruby, Kyle, and Natish huddle against the relentless wind, their clothes whipping around them. Below, the city unfurls like a vibrant tapestry, a bustling panorama of life stretching into the distance. The city's radiant light pierces the encroaching gloom, a defiant beacon of hope against the deepening shadows. Their gazes, filled with a shared sense of purpose, sweep across the vast, sprawling landscape. Beneath the kingdom, a hidden passage is revealed, a dark maw leading into the unknown. The air within is a frigid breath, carrying the damp scent of ancient stone and forgotten secrets. Its walls press in, a claustrophobic embrace that promises no easy escape. Each step taken into the narrow corridor echoes with the weight of unseen dangers. The passage beckons, a terrifying invitation to an uncertain fate. The passage mouth exhales them into a desolate dawn, their breath blooming in the frigid air like ghostly sighs. A stark, alien landscape unfurls before them, a world untouched by green, a canvas of cold, hard earth. Jagged rock formations, like ancient, broken teeth, pierce the pale sky, silent sentinels of this barren realm. Long, eerie shadows stretch across the ground, reaching out like spectral fingers from the towering stone. The vast, empty expanse whispers of forgotten secrets, a chilling testament to its desolate beauty. They stand on the precipice of an unknown world, a chilling panorama of jagged rock and endless, barren ground. Ruby stands transfixed in a swirling, surreal room, where reality itself bends and distorts around her. Faces of friends and foes materialize from the shifting mists, their expressions fleeting and spectral. They appear and vanish like smoke, leaving Ruby suspended in a suffocating cloud of uncertainty. The air thickens with a palpable sense of dread as Ruby struggles to grasp what is real. A faint, rhythmic tick-tock of an alarm clock pierces the chaotic silence, a chilling reminder of time slipping. A disembodied voice, the monster, echoes through the dream. Which is real? The relentless desert wind howls through the skeletal remains of a forgotten outpost, kicking up dust like ghosts. Weather-beaten buildings stand as silent sentinels, bearing witness to a war long past. Amidst the desolation, a tattered flag, a relic of dwindling supplies, hangs limply from a broken pole. Its familiar insignia, barely visible, hints at forgotten loyalties in this desolate landscape. In a dimly lit outpost bunker, Ruby, a weary soldier, hunches over a dusty table, the silence heavy around her. Her fingers trace the brittle pages of an ancient, leather-bound journal, its secrets waiting to unfold. The faded ink on the old pages tells a story of a mission from long ago, a history etched in time. As Ruby reads, a chilling shadow crosses her face, hinting at a deep, devastating betrayal that still haunts her. The weight of the past presses down on her, the journal a conduit to forgotten pain and unresolved sorrow. Her eyes, filled with a profound weariness, reflect the echoes of a betrayal that refuses to fade. The relentless sun scorches a desolate landscape, casting long, stark shadows across the barren earth. Before them, the monstrous maw of the monster lair yawns open, a black abyss of unknown horrors. A thick, sulfurous stench, rank and suffocating, billows from the depths of the gaping entrance. Kyle, his face a mask of grim determination, meticulously inspects his weapons, preparing for the inevitable. Each weapon is checked with practiced precision, a silent promise to face the horrors that lie within. The air in the monster's lair is thick with a musky, metallic scent, a grim prelude to the horror within. A grotesque monster, a nightmarish amalgamation of scales and pulsing flesh, stands before them, a terrifying sight. The battle rages, fierce and brutal, as the sounds of impacts echo off the cavern walls, a symphony of destruction. Ruby moves with renewed ferocity, each strike fueled by a visible anger that burns in her eyes. Her movements are precise, a steely determination guiding her every blow against the monstrous foe. Ruby battles a monstrous figure in the swirling chaos of her dream, her movements a desperate fluid dance of survival. She lands a powerful blow, and the monster shudders, its grotesque form beginning to warp and distort. The monster's face dissolves into a chilling reflection of Ruby herself, its eyes mirroring her own terror. The terrifying image shatters like fragile glass, splintering into countless fragments of self-doubt. A piercing alarm clock rips her from the nightmare, its insistent ring echoing the dream's lingering horror. The battlefield is thick with the acrid scent of ozone and dust, the air still heavy with the echoes of conflict. I emerge from the gaping maw of the monster's lair, exhausted yet triumphant, a silent testament to the victory. Ruby, visibly injured, stands with her head held high, her spirit unbroken, a beacon of unwavering resolve. I move to Ruby's side, my hands gently tending to her wounds, a moment of quiet care amidst the aftermath. Natish, ever the pragmatist, meticulously examines the grotesque remains of the creature, her brow furrowed in thought. Her focused gaze dissects the fallen foe, seeking answers and understanding in its silent, monstrous form. Flickering candlelight casts dancing shadows across their faces as Elara, Leo, and Lyra stand in a room thick with unspoken tension. Elara takes a deep breath, her gaze fixed on Ruby as she prepares to reveal a painful truth. "There's something I need to tell you, Ruby." Leo's face is etched with concern as he demands, "What are you talking about?" Lyra's eyes dart between them, her voice filled with apprehension. "A betrayal? Who are you talking about, Elara?" Sunlight dances, a dazzling spectacle, across the surface of the shimmering ethereal pool. Ruby approaches the water's edge with a hesitant, cautious grace, her face etched with a silent struggle. She submerges herself. The water embracing her as a profound, palpable relief washes over her features. A visible transformation unfolds. The burdens of pain and trauma begin to recede, dissolving into the clear depths. Lyra stands, a silent observer, her gaze fixed, mesmerized by the miraculous change unfolding before her eyes. The healing waters ripple, reflecting Ruby's serene face, now free from the shadows that once haunted her. Ruby stands in a serene, endless field, bathed in the soft glow of a dreamscape, the air calm and still around her. On a distant, gentle hill, an alarm clock rests, its sound a soft, comforting hum, no longer jarring or frightening. The terrifying monster that once haunted this space is gone, its oppressive shadow lifted from the tranquil scene. A faint, hopeful light pulses gently in the distance, a beacon of peace in Ruby's transformed dream. Ruby's face shows a profound sense of peace and relief, her dream now a sanctuary of quiet joy. A verdant valley, alive with birdsong and the gentle rush of a stream, becomes the canvas for a new beginning. A diverse group, a mosaic of ages and experiences, moves with purposeful rhythm, felling trees with silent collaboration. Each swing of an axe, each lift of a timber, is a testament to their shared hope, carving out their future. They clear brush and lay foundations, their actions a silent symphony of collaboration and determination. The air hums with their collective energy, a nascent community taking root, building their dreams from the earth. Ruby, Kyle, Natish, and Elara gather around an ornate table, their expressions etched with unwavering determination. Maps and strategic documents, illuminated by a soft window light, are spread before them, hinting at grand plans. Their lively discussion fills the room, each gesture emphasizing their shared purpose and resolve. Eyes meet across the table, a silent understanding passing between them, solidifying their united front. The air crackles with intense focus as they engage in a discussion that will shape their destiny. Under the vast, star-studded canvas of night, Nadish meticulously constructs a small observatory, the air crisp and silent. Lyra watches, her eyes wide with curiosity, as Natish points to constellations with a precise, graceful laser. Natish's face, illuminated by the soft glow of her instruments, is alight with passion, her voice a hushed melody. She shares ancient lore and prophecies, weaving tales against the profound silence of the night. Ruby sits in quiet solitude, her mind adrift in a sea of memories. She cradles an old, faded photograph, its edges softened by time and touch. Her thumb gently traces the image, a silent caress of a cherished moment. A faint, peaceful smile blooms on her lips, a reflection of distant joy. On her nightstand, the soft glow of an alarm clock marks the silent, relentless passage of time. The sky erupts in a symphony of orange and pink as dawn breaks, bathing the thriving settlement in a warm, ethereal glow. Children's laughter, light and free, dances on the morning breeze as they play lively games, their movements quick and unburdened. Adults move with a quiet purpose, their hands busy with tasks that keep the community's heart beating strong. Every tree and blade of grass seems to pulse with a vibrant energy, the very landscape alive with the dawn's promise. Silhouetted against the rising sun, Ruby stands on a nearby hill, a watchful presence, a silent guardian. Her gaze sweeps over the settlement, a profound sense of responsibility etched onto her shadowed features as she observes her charge. Ruby's eyes close, and the familiar world around her begins to melt away into an ethereal haze. The mundane settlement dissolves, replaced by a breathtaking panorama of interconnected communities. Vibrant hues paint a tapestry of peace and harmony, stretching as far as the eye can see. A faint, distant ringing, like a forgotten melody, drifts on the unseen currents of the air. The gentle sound, a whisper of memory, slowly fades into the vast, silent expanse. Ruby's vision of a thriving, interconnected world lingers, a profound and hopeful echo.